Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the price of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be giving you a little bit of insight on what my plan is moving forward and also giving you an idea of where I see the market headed for the week ahead. So let's go and jump right into it. I mean, usually I start with what's going on when it comes to the news. There's really not that much news for today particularly, so not really much to cover there, but the price of Bitcoin is sitting at $29,175. We have pretty much green throughout the cryptocurrency space today. I would say about 80% green for the most part. We also, I guess some news in the crypto space, I told you guys that I wasn't gonna touch that Luna 2.0 situation. I'm definitely glad that I did not do that. I think after it came out, it dropped like 75%. So the whole Luna brand, I think, is just completely gone, and there is no returning in my personal opinion. So that's kind of my thought there. What's going to happen out of all of this is that people are going to just lean more towards being Bitcoin maximalists. That's how I think that this is all just going to play out. And so just looking at the weekly chart here on Bitcoin, we are so overdue for a bounce. And I actually think that we're going to see a little bit of a bounce in the coming week at some point. That's kind of my prediction there. Just about 8 hours left until the weekly candle closes. So I would anticipate potentially another week maybe in this range and then more of a bounce off of that. So maybe a bounce coming I believe sometime in the month of June. I am anticipating that. And so I want to pretty much get rid of the majority of the altcoins that I have. And I don't really have a ton of altcoins. You guys know that the majority of my holding is Bitcoin and Ethereum. But you can see here, I was kind of just going through what I actually have. You know, I have a little bit of Tron, a little bit of Icon, a few airdrops here. This is just a couple $1,000s, not even worth of altcoins. So what I'm gonna do is take an approach of selling into strength on basically all these altcoins that I have. Okay, so I think of all general altcoins here. And then those are the ones that I'm going to get rid of first. And then above that would be DOT and Link. So those are outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, DOT and Link are basically the two coins that I have more faith in for the long term. Okay, pretty much just those two. And then I don't know exactly, I'm not even gonna put the Nexo token in the mix of that, because my motivation for holding the Nexo token is because I have a massive loan for over $300,000 on Nexo, and I want to get the interest as low as possible. So those coins are I'm not selling them off just because it's going to cost me more money in the long term to pay a higher interest rate on those on that particular loan that I have out. So I'm not even putting Nexo in the list because I hold it for a different reason. So like I said, all altcoins. After that, looking into selling off DOT, which I've sold off the majority of my DOT and the majority of my Link. So my altcoin holdings are already really low. And then next, looking at chopping off Ethereum and just adding to my Bitcoin position. I would say that, just to kind of give you guys an idea, to back up to when I first got into crypto, right? I bought a ton of Ethereum at first. I had just a little bit of Bitcoin. And then I had a ton of altcoins. I would have probably 40 different coins, right? And then once I went through that market cycle, I went back to kind of the basics, right? I held the majority of Ethereum and Bitcoin. That was what I was focusing on. And 10% altcoins. And I would say, I can't believe that I didn't really learn the first time. I should have learned the first time. After what has unfolded over the last month or two, I am now leaning more towards holding Bitcoin and majority of Ethereum, okay, those two coins, and not really a ton of anything else. For some reason, I just always am motivated to kind of cut the fat, consolidate, and I'm tired of having a ton of coins everywhere. And so events like this will slowly turn people into more Bitcoin maxis, and I think that's what is eventually going to happen over time. You may be experiencing that yourself. So kind of just to give you an idea of my game plan there. And I'm also preparing for Bitcoin to go to $22,000. So that's why I'm looking to sell into some strength, okay? And back up. I have collateral ready on the sidelines to back up the loans. I have loans on Celsius, I have loans on BlockFi, and I have loans on Nexo as well. So, like I said, I'm anticipating definitely a bump in the price sometime in June. I don't want to give an exact period of time, but I think in the month of June, we are going to see a bounce. People are going to feel relief. People are going to feel hopeful. People are going to think that the bottom is in, and it won't be. Then the rug will get pulled once again. There will be blood in the streets. Even more people are going to get liquidated. And then I think we're going to see Bitcoin down in the dumps for at least a year, probably closer to 2 years. And you're going to get bored and you're going to get tired of it. And trust me, like, people really underestimate Bitcoin hodling and crypto hodling. But at the end of the day, it is an insane emotional roller coaster. It does get easier over time if you can stomach the volatility, but that's just how it is, okay? So stay patient, understand that, and that's kind of like what I'm anticipating. I also want to remind you that you're gonna hold on to your altcoins and you're gonna think they're gonna get back to all-time highs, but Bitcoin is going to get back to its all-time high before the majority of altcoins ever will, okay? I would say, like, Bitcoin is going to get back to all-time highs before 99.5% of altcoins do, okay? That's just how this is going to play out. That's a big, bold statement to make, but it's one that I am pretty confident in. I typically don't make statements like that very often, but I mean, XRP never got even close to its all-time highs from back in 2017. It was like $3.50. Did it get close there? No. Does it have an insane army that's like super dedicated and married to the project? Yes, and it still didn't even get back to all-time highs. So that's kind of just my rant there of some insight of being in the space for some time, losing a ton, earning back a ton, my portfolio being super volatile back and forth, having more altcoins, having more Bitcoin. That is how I feel. And it's really crazy because every time like the new market cycle comes out, a new wave of people get into the space, they're always like trying to share these projects with me. And it's people that are, you know, more new to the space. They're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I feel ridiculous that I don't even know about all of these projects. And I was feeling like, I was like concerned about my knowledge of the space, but then I was reminded there's a reason why I don't care about the new projects or the altcoins. It's for a reason, and I need to remember that. So just a reminder there. And I'm just like speaking from more of like an emotional side today on how I feel about things. And I hope it'll help you with decisions moving forward. And no, I didn't buy Bitcoin in the first 1, 2, or 3 years that it came out. But I did buy my first Bitcoin and Ethereum back in 2016. And it's crazy to think that it's been almost 6 years. Time really does fly. But those are just my thoughts of being in the space for 6 years, which isn't like 10 or 11, but it's a decent amount of time. So I want to back up here to the daily chart on Bitcoin. I told you guys that I would be more interested in entering a short-term position with a stop loss once this green crosses over the red. Okay, so we have bounced a bit. So this low, this came in on May 26th, a low of $28,000 even, okay? Let's go ahead and see here how much it has bounced off of this price. It has bounced about 5% over the last few days. So it would be nice here to see, I mean, if Bitcoin makes a higher high, it's probably gonna end up crossing over. It is kind of curving in that direction. So I think we might be a little bit closer to that point. Why don't I think that the bottom is in? I believe if the bottom was in, we would have, okay, so we bounced here dramatically, right? This low of 25,338 came in on May 12th. Within a few days, Bitcoin was up 25%. But guess what? It's back down. It did not continue. Okay, I wanted to see Bitcoin up 50% from that. Well, not 50%. I would say at least 40%, but it has fallen back down again. And that is why I do not believe that the bottom is in. I think that we are going lower than the low of this candle. I believe more pain must be felt. Okay, so the 12-hour chart is actually looking really great. We have this green 2 trading above the green 1. This moving average is getting really close to crossing over. I think there's a decent entry point here, okay? The 12-hour chart is giving us some hope. And I was just looking at this. I did look at the charts before I made this video today. The 12-hour chart has me hopeful for a pretty strong week, okay? We also want to see where traditional markets are going to go, or they're going to open up. That's going to play a role in all of this as well. We know how correlation has been, right? So this is a 4-hour chart, which is also looking good. That green crossed over the red. So the 4-hour chart is good. So first we're seeing confirmation, a little bit of confirmation, a little bit of hope on the 12-hour. We're seeing it also on the 4-hour. I'm assuming we're going to see it on the 1-hour here as well. Bitcoin making higher highs on the 1-hour chart. We see a little bit of a pullback here. I want to see Bitcoin hold the low of this candle of $28,923, okay? I want to see it hold that. It could pull back for a few more hours and then make a higher high. I want to see Bitcoin go above the high of this candle, which is 29,462. So over to the 30-minute chart here. 30-minute chart looking good, having a pullback. I want to see it make a higher high, probably within the next 24 hours. Probably before that, probably sometime by the end of the day. So let's take a quick look here at the 5-minute chart on Bitcoin. Trending downwards, okay, but the good news is that all those other time frames I just went over are giving us some good hope that Bitcoin is making a momentum shift. That 12-hour chart is where it's starting, which is great, but obviously that daily chart, we want to see it happen there as well. But Bitcoin would have to make a big leap. I think Bitcoin could actually make a big push to jump another maybe $1,000 to $2,000 by the end of the day. The bulls are showing up. We're seeing the bulls show up on that 12-hour chart. Let's take a look over here at the Ethereum chart. This right here is the daily chart, not giving us a ton. Let's see if the 12-hour chart. Okay, so Ethereum is kind of lagging behind Bitcoin right now. From the perspective of the green has not crossed over the red yet, but we see this green 2 trading above the green 1. So that right there is hopeful. Let's see if the other time frames are matching up. Also here, so on the 4-hour chart, the green has crossed over the red. So we're seeing a little bit more strength out of Bitcoin. Bitcoin leading the way, Ethereum trailing behind slightly. This is a 1-hour chart on Ethereum, also looking good. So we have some hope. We have some hope for today. We have some hope with the market opening tomorrow. Excuse me, tomorrow's a holiday. Okay, well that changes things. So with tomorrow being a holiday and traditional markets closed, Bitcoin is open to do its own thing, which is good because we're seeing momentum for the bulls. And if the stock market is gonna, I'm pretty sure, be closed tomorrow because of Memorial Day weekend. So it's hopefully not going to influence the cryptocurrency space. So that is good news there. Link sitting at 665 today. We have XTZ sitting at 198. And we have, let's see, Luna took another big hit today. Dogecoin sitting at just above 8 cents. And so yeah, that's kind of where things are at there. Celsius coin is struggling dramatically, 57 cents. There's been a lot of FUD around Celsius lately. And to be honest with you, I still need to take the time to look into the situation and see where this FUD is coming from. It seems like 1 or 2 people that are trying to target Celsius, but still have to kind of take a deeper dive there. So this is kind of my thoughts on what I'm seeing happening. I am looking to sell altcoins, like I mentioned, into strength. I'm looking to create more collateral in the form of stable coins. So I'm kind of for me, I'm not selling these altcoins to buy Bitcoin yet. I am selling these altcoins to go into stable coins to earn me interest and then basically get ready to buy that last pullback on Bitcoin, which I believe is coming. Also kind of doubling down in other ways to just stack US dollars, stable coins to be ready for that moment. Okay, so If you want to start putting your buy orders in, I think it's kind of early, I think that there's going to be definitely some more time, but it's never a bad idea to already have those buy orders set. Make sure you have all your exchanges lined up and ready to go. So that's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.